Well, hello guys, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. This is the finale of the Let's Play. We've got one ending left, and yeah, we've done a lot. We showed off throughout the past
Someone was following
17...
Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Sounds like that pencil. You hear that rolling, right? With that guy? We've done a lot through these past few episodes. We're gonna head off to our boss's office.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door.
We've done through the last 17 episodes. We've showed off every ending except for the art ending, and even a few extras.
There was not a single person here.
Talked about how to get almost every achievement and got at least half of them.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
and yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm really happy with this series. It could have gone better, but
here's the door. Just go.
That's funny. We're heading to the. You know where we're heading, right? The escape. But no, honestly, I've really liked this series. I recorded a majority of it today. I think since this has all been one giant recording session for anybody from the Zending onward. So episode 7, I all recorded in a single day. So around 10 episodes. And yeah, it's been pretty nice, and I do not know what series we're going from here.
Straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Let's escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
The
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
We're not going to do that. We're going to keep going.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Last chance. Nope. Now, this, from the start, has been the ending I planned on tackling last. Of course, if I were to do it again, I probably would have tackled the not Stanley ending last. If looking back on everything that we've done this series. But you'll see where I was coming from here.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay, maybe I am glad I picked this one.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Now,
do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I'm gonna show off all of this. This is the Stanley Parable Museum. You've got the nature paintings, Stanley's computer. I'm gonna read this all. This is gonna be one of the longest because I find this so interesting. Maybe I am glad. The blueprints show that the office from the beginning of the game, the path to Stanley's office, 2 doors and part of this was built section to have added development, though the core layout still remains the same. Corridor. The pacing of the opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the... So, the corridor is timed out so that way the narrator can say everything before getting to the choice. A set of 2 open doors with the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable design. Once the room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the something. You got an office. The office. You've got the first 3 doors. Button sounds. A selection of sounds were used throughout the game. When buttons are pressed, each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. That's pretty cool. We got the filing cabinets over here, and we got office computers, employee database. We've seen that one a lot. Now the reason is because, as far as I knew, this was the only part in the game that showed the credits. I did not know the not Stanley ending showed the credits. So maybe I am happy. Because, you know, no, I am happy with doing this one last, really. Because I was saving the credits for this, the last episode. We're going to check out this entire museum. Boss's office, screens from development. That's kind of cool. Office clock. Employee lounge. Mind control. Underground, an early version of the Underground. Narrator outtakes. Kevin, brightening the voice actor of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. These clips from early takes were not used in the final game.
Now look at this. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of thing you pick up on intuitively.
See, this is so... I like this. Going through the game... It's breaking the fourth wall. This not like this game ever had one, though. It's like Kid Icarus Uprising. It doesn't have a fourth wall. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Countdown desk. One of these discs from an early version of the countdown ending. Ooh. That's kind of cool. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. Monitor room elevator. From the time the elevator in the monitor room could be up or down with the freedom ending above and countdown below. We've abandoned this when players found out it's too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. You guys remember Countdown? Did I call Countdown Explosion? I may have called the countdown ending the explosion ending. Countdown room, an early version of the countdown room. Yeah, I think I called Countdown the explosion ending. Ooh, that's bright. The Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations of this room, represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but we decided to abandon and change it again shortly after. Now, the Zending is... I don't see how this was the Zending. Whatever, though. Zending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another. Now, this was the Zending. We talked about the Zending, and they seem to like... It's complicated. The Zending feels really complicated. Ending levers. In part of the Zending, the player had to pull the lever, and the narrator would describe what color they pulled. See, it's nice to see how this game went through development. The game is now paused. The escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. See, it's an interesting thing. It's kind of like the serious ending. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something of the spirit of the game. The first one was released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and a voice of the narrator, informing viewers that he's preparing. Okay, under normal circumstances, we'd watch this, but we're not. We've got much more to explore, bigger, more rooms, more whatever. The meeting room, maintenance layout. The flow of the hallways following the first two doors was important to get right since the player will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest one that won out. So, obey, disobey, lounge. One doorway to the maintenance lounge. Two doorway. A vent? That's interesting. To the confusion ending. Doorway to the main. Track option. That's kind of what they did, kind of not. Interesting though. Oh, we checked out this. That was the ending. Oh, we haven't been in here, I guess. Yeah, no, we haven't. The cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer a choice of staying or jumping to a different path. However, after an early version, we decided we also want the option of the player falling to their death, aka the powerful ending. There's a lot of... hopefully by this point you have either done every ending or seen a majority of the endings that I've showed off, or watched the entire series and played along with me, or something like that. So this references a lot of other endings. So I hope you guys have checked out those. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game. We want it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Okay. The apartment timer, that was from the phone ending. Here, this version, the choice leading up to the apartment ending. Timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Instead, in the final game, they had you unplug the phone. The office, the pencil. The one guy, I don't think I ever pointed that out, but there's a guy whose desk is literally just a pencil sharpener. An early version. Ooh. These are screenshots. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. The point. Are you going crazy? Maybe it's the same age. The clock there before, I don't remember. Stanley Parable is to lose, large. Greenlit. In September 2015, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlit. Valve's process of approving the game for Steam, the Greenlit page had only a series of cryptic photos, which are still enough to win community approval. Warzone. What? Okay, let's see. In early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would be silent and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game, plus some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. That's interesting. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. Those, and we're back here at the credits. I'm gonna use that as a thumbnail, I think. Let's see, is there anything else we haven't checked out? Probably. Checked out that. Ooh, what was this? This is the skeleton inside it. There are more skeletons in the world than there are humans. It's blunt. There are more skeletons in the world than humans. Bruh. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in farther promotional material, we never found the perfect use for them. Here is a selection of those emails. How do you make an RPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? Can you tell me what's this? What is the lights in the control room doing? That's interesting. I think I tried to show off the lights and the extras thing. Yeah, let's see what we got over here. View death, 427, 427. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. It was first created the 2nd and 3rd in February 2013. And I think in the game ending, you can also see his office when it was... Because this was originally a mod, if anybody didn't know. I've talked about it multiple times, but yeah, as far as I know, the game design, this was a level that Williams, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, the audition piece, the strength of the level. Williams hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout, this mock-up is still in the game. Yeah. I think we covered all this, right? Yeah, so let's get down to the end here. That was the Stanley Parable Museum. I like it.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Turn the game off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
And that was the Stanley Parable. I hope you guys enjoyed. Honestly, I really do like this game. It's funny, it's deep, it's philosophical. I like the narrator, I like the gameplay. Like the reason I saved the museum for last was because of how much it shows. And how you learn about this game. And now, the creator of this game did another game called The Beginner's Guide. I won't do it next, but I want to know, do you guys want to see The Beginner's Guide? Because I'll do it. I will do it. But, for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the Stanley Parable. And I will see you all next time.